All right. Hey, everyone, and thanks for joining us for this webinar, Automate Your Customers' eSignatures with signNow. My name is Jan Borvage, and I'm the Director of Product Marketplace here at Sherweb. And joining me today is Josh Lambert from Airslate, the parent company of signNow. Josh, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Jan.
All right. I'm really excited for this session. I think for many of our partners, they realize the benefit of being able to offer business solution like eSignature to their clients, but they don't always know how to start a conversation and really show their value in that process. So before we get all started, just a couple of housekeeping items. There's a question section in the application. If you have any questions during the presentation, drop them in there and we'll make sure you get an answer. We'll also be sending out a recording of the session and the slides presented after the call. With that, I'll pass it over to you, Josh.
Thanks, Jan. Thanks for having me today. Excited to talk a little bit about signNow and give an overview of our product. So to kick things off, why eSignature? eSignature is the #2 work from home solution since the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Hopefully that conversation talk track is behind us sooner rather than later, but nonetheless, it will always remain relevant, especially with the work from home workforce that we have in play now. Since the pandemic began, as far as the software category, eSignature has grown by 511%, which is huge and gives everyone on this call an opportunity to bring signNow to your customer base. As far as a market opportunity for signNow, eSignature space is about $25 billion market cap for the year as far as a total addressable market. From a total market consumed, it's only about $1.5 billion, which means there's a lot of green space for us to tap into as a company with our partners like Sherweb and all the resellers on the call today. Here's just a few logos that we have as customers at signNow. We have enterprise, mid-market, SMB customers. signNow, it's agnostic to company size. This is to give you an idea of the customer base we have so you can kind of get your minds going with the customer base that you all have on the call today. As far as target markets and common use cases, like I already alluded to, the segment distribution for signNow, it is pretty much completely even. We've traditionally been an SMB player whenever we first started, but we've slowly gone up market to mid-market and then enterprise, but nonetheless, SMB is still our main focus for eSignature. As far as the typical users you'll probably have conversations with, it's going to be business owners, CEOs, COOs. Human resources is really big for signNow. Sales teams, getting sales contracts signed in a timely manner so you can account for revenue faster than you would otherwise. Legal is also really big. This is a short list of the people that we do talk to, but these are really just the main ones. As far as industry focus goes, we're pretty agnostic when it comes to that as well. We fit nicely in majority of businesses, from IT companies, software companies, healthcare companies, anything that's really, any organization or industry that's really paper heavy, we're going to fit nicely into. Another thing that a lot of your customers will be asking are what type of integrations we do have. We do have a ton of integrations that are straight out of the box, like D365, O365, Microsoft Teams, Salesforce is another big one. This is just a short list of the many we do have. If there's any in particular that you do have questions on, happy to look into it and see if we do. As far as common use cases go at the bottom, not going to go through all of those for the sake of time, but nonetheless, it's really just to get your mind going on common use cases that we see a lot with signNow and our product. HR is always a super easy one because it's extremely paper heavy from employee contracts, NDAs, non-competes, and then you have policy distributions throughout the year. Anywhere where there's a heavy paper process or an e-paper process, it's going to be a good fit for signNow.
And Josh, just before you move to the next slide, I just want to emphasize on what you said, the integration, because that's a great opportunity for our partners to really help their customers to understand their, ecosystem, and to which signNow can plug and play easily. Talking about CRM or other solution, that's really a good play for partners to help, their customer, navigate through that, because it's not as simple as it might look like.
Yep. Thanks for pointing that out, Jan. So let's go over some key benefits of signNow, with the first one being able to simplify complex workflows. Whenever you think of contracts and documents, a lot of times whenever those contracts need to have multiple signers, if you don't have something like signNow, it's a process where one person is usually trying to figure out where the document's at in the signing process, who needs to sign it, and without signNow, it's really hard to have that visibility. With signNow, it's as simple as setting the signing order. You can have as many signers as you need. Once you hit send, it's an automated process where once the first person signs, it goes to the second person and so on. And it gives you visibility into where the contract or document sits. So you're not having to do the manual work that goes into contracts typically. Another thing that we help out with is an increase in team productivity. So within signNow, teammates can collaborate on documents, share templates, share documents, just so work isn't being done over and over by the different people within the organization. It makes everyone's lives easier and everyone more productive. Another key benefit is the ability to quickly fill out and sign documents. So with that, signNow is extremely easy to use, very user-friendly. Never have any complaints on people having a hard time to use it. We're also extremely mobile-friendly, so the ability to sign anywhere on any device. You have that option with signNow. Obviously, approved documents on any device in seconds. Most documents get done or completed within a day, as opposed to what it's like without signNow and having documents be thrown around manually. Another benefit is a lot of customers will want to know if they can keep their brand within signNow. You definitely can. You can upload logos for internal use, as well as whenever you're sending out documents via signNow to maintain that company brand, so people know it's coming from whoever's sending it, as opposed to just signNow. And then obviously working uninterrupted. So with signNow, it keeps business moving forward, especially with work from home and the pandemic. A lot of people don't have printers. So with something like signNow, it helps alleviate those headaches that come along with not being in an office, being on the road, if you are traveling yet, whatnot. So a few other things to go over. The how signNow might solve customer pains. Won't go through all of these either, but really just to give you a few ideas on possibly how you can start conversations or what to listen out for whenever you are talking to your customers. So one's excessive spending on paper and labor resources. If it's an extremely heavy paper-oriented company, there's going to be definitely some costs associated with that. And then also that labor that goes into it whenever you're sending out documents manually. With signNow, you can essentially eliminate most paper and the labor that it takes to make sure those documents are getting signed and executed on time. That's going to be taken away, and people can focus on more important tasks other than just documents. A few other benefits that we'll go over. So errors when filling out similar forms. A lot of times documents get sent back with errors. With signNow, it helps documents to be error-proof from people that are filling them out. Once you input fields, you can make fields required so they can't not be signed whenever they're filling those out. And then obviously, which is probably the most apparent one, is inefficient and slow document processing times. So whenever you don't have something like signNow, the time it takes to get documents signed is extremely painful. Whenever you have signNow in place, it definitely speeds up the time to complete a document. It just makes everybody's life easier with the ability to see where the document's at in the process. So everyone on this call probably cares about their customers quite a bit. So what's in it for your customers typically? We've already touched on some of these points, but just to put some numbers to it, definitely increases productivity as far as getting documents turned around in a timely manner. 80% of documents usually get completed within a day, and most of those get completed within 1 to 2 hours. Customer experience will always go up. The easier you make it to do business with your customers, the happier they will be. Customer satisfaction with people that use signNow typically goes up around 127%. There's a huge time saving as well. When it comes to document turnaround time, it's usually about a 25x on that. And then obviously most people care about money. The average ROI for customers of signNow is about 7x their initial investment for the year. So going over the 2 SKUs that we have with Sherweb. So we have 2 of those, signNow Business Premium and signNow Enterprise. For signNow Business Premium, this is going to be your standard out-of-the-box e-signature solution to where customers might want to just send and receive their documents, and then also have the ability to possibly send and receive documents in bulk. signNow Enterprise, where that comes into play, is if they have advanced routing or potentially conditional fields. You can also receive and track payments with the signNow Enterprise SKU. If there's ever an integration needed from your customers, the signNow Enterprise SKU is what would be needed. We do price on a seat-based pricing model. You do have a few options as far as payments for your customers. So there's an annual commitment paid up front, and then you have a monthly SKU as well, to where obviously it's a month-to-month commitment and it's paid monthly.
Josh, we had a question I think is pertaining to the slide and the chat. So basically, they were asking if signNow had an integration with Team. So there is, I think you're mentioning there is, but there is the approval tool in Microsoft Teams. So they want detail if the approval tool in Team has an integration with signNow.
So the integration with Microsoft Teams, the way that looks like, it's really just a signNow platform internally on the actual Teams platform itself. It's really just built in. I'm not too sure about the approval process.
Okay.
And I can check on that. Jan, if you can maybe just send me that question after, or a list of questions that I might not be able to answer. And I'll look into that for you pretty quickly.
Amazing. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll take the question offline and we'll send back to the person who asked the question. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah. So just to kind of give you a customer success story, to also kind of give you an idea of how signNow helps out customers and could potentially help out yours. One of our customers is the Los Angeles County Department of Human Resources. So obviously there's a ton of employees for the County of Los Angeles, and they hire about 10,000 new employees each year. If you don't have something like signNow and you have that many employees plus additional employees coming on each year, there's definitely going to be some silos in your work streams whenever it comes to getting documents executed and completed in a timely manner. LA County, they focused on their onboarding forms initially. Those usually took over a week to get back, which is quite a long time. Sometimes it took longer. So they sought out to find a way to decrease the time it takes to get employees onboarded. So they came to signNow. We were able to integrate into their document management system. And then from there, they deployed signNow for their onboarding process. The county, they streamlined their documents with new employees that were getting hired. And as a result, LA County, they cut down their time to get those documents completed quite drastically. It went from a week to a few weeks down to a day or two, saving them a ton of time and hassle on the employees. And now they're able to hire at faster rates than they otherwise would have because they have signNow implemented into their HR teams.
Yeah, and I would say the onboarding process today has become more and more of importance. So that's also creating a good experience for the new employee is so key. So I think that's a super use case to highlight.
Perfect. So just want to show you a demo and what the signNow platform actually looks like. Let me go over to that real quick. So it's a SaaS-based software. It's web-based. So your customers would just go to signNow.com, hit login, and they would be able to log in. There's no software that's required to download, anything like that. We do support SSO as far as Azure AD, Okta, really any SAML-based SSO tool we will support. From here, once we log into the platform, it's going to take you to the signNow dashboard. Within the dashboard, I'll go over a few of the features it does have, and then upload a document. I'll add some fields to that document, send it out for signature, and then from there, show you what it looks like to be able to sign that document. So here's the dashboard. Whenever you log in, over to the left, you can sort your documents by documents that are waiting for you to be signed, documents where you're waiting on other people to sign, and then your completed documents. Over to the left, you also have a template folder. So templates are really just going to be whenever you have documents that are going to be signed, same place, just by different people. Instead of having to apply the fields every single time, you can just use the template functionality to where you can just go in, put in the person's email, and then send it out for signature. Under that, you have shared templates and documents. So that pertains more to the team's functionality down at the bottom. So think of an HR team. If the solution is deployed org-wide, you have a sales team that's using it, HR team, and IT team. You want to keep those teams separated and make sure that they have access to the documents that they actually need, so nothing gets lost in transition. Those shared templates, shared documents, you can share that to the team that you might be assigned to. Document groups, what that really just is, if there's multiple documents that you want to send out at the same time. And then obviously at the bottom left, there's an admin panel where there's specific organization settings that the admin of the account can set for the entire org that's underneath them. So to upload a document, you're just going to upload or create. signNow, we support any document format from PDF to Word documents, JPEGs, anything really will be an acceptable document format to be able to upload into signNow. Once you have that document that you want to upload, you're just going to hit open. It does a quick little security check. And then once it does that, the document's just going to be up at the top of your dashboard. From here, a few things you can do. If you want to make it a template, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can just go ahead and prepare to send the document if it's a one-off document. So here we're just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to hit prepare and send. And from here, it's going to take me to the part of the process to where you would input the name of the person that's going to sign the document and then their email that the document is going to be sent to. With signNow, you can have as many signature recipients that's needed on a document. You would just click add recipient and then put in their information again. Like I said, doesn't have a cap to the amount. So if it's a pretty in-depth document that 6 people need to sign, you can definitely do that with signNow. For the sake of the demo, I'll just do myself. And then here you can also CC anybody that you would like to receive a copy of the document once it's sent or completed. From here, once you do that, you're just going to go to add fields and start applying those to the document. Over to the left of my screen, those are all the fields that you all would have access to. Obviously, signature, text fields, date and time, that's going to be the most common, but you also have calculated fields, initial fields. You have conditional, you can do conditional fields as well. If someone checks the yes box, then they have to provide additional information. All of that's possible within signNow. Here I'm just going to add a few fields to the actual document. Whenever you add that to the document, like I said, you can make those fields required or not. Then you can also label those. We'll do a couple of those. And then let's maybe do a few checkboxes. And then we'll do a signature field. And then a date field. From here, once you have all the fields on the document that you need to send out, you can just go to save and invite. There's going to be a few other options that you have whenever you get to this point. So you can customize the message to the signer of the document. You can customize the subject line as well as the body of the email. If you want to give them specific instructions on what to fill out, what they might need, whatever it may be, you'd be able to do that here. If you click on the gear icon, there's going to be a few other options that you have. So with the enterprise plan for signNow, there are a few multi-factor authentication options that you would have available. So password, text message, and phone call. You can also set a certain amount of days before the document expires, and then the frequency of the reminders on that document, so you don't have to go in and manually do that or send an email. You can always just set that to be automatic on the back end. Once you do that and everything's ready to go, you just hit send invite. We're an extremely mobile-friendly solution, so if who's ever signing this document is out of pocket, you can definitely use your cell phone. Once you get that email and just click on view document, it'll just say, do you want to use your mobile browser or would you like to download the signNow app? Either or is fine, but you would have the ability to do that. So here's the document that I just sent out for signature. I'll click on that and then hit view document. From here, it'll take me through the process of signing the document and filling out all of the required fields that are on that document for me. So let's go ahead and hit get started. And then it takes you through the document to all the fields that you would need to fill out. So we'll go ahead and hit start. Address. And then whatever interests me here, we'll do a signature. I've already signed it, signNow, and it saves it the first time you do it. If someone is using it for the first time, what they would do is this box would come up. They would hit add new signature. You can just type out your name, and then it gives you the pre-built signature. You can also draw your signature with your finger or your mouse, or you can upload a signature or a photo of your signature as well. Either of those options are going to be fine. We'll go ahead and hit sign, and then the date field. It's usually automatic to the date that you are signing the document. Once that's good, you can go ahead and hit done. And from that point, once the document's completed, whoever sent the document and then whoever signed the document would get a notification that the document had been completed, and then it would attach a PDF of the completed document to that email. Within signNow itself, I'll show you the document history with the completed document, what that looks like. The document history is really just it's kind of like the life cycle of that document. So when it was originated, when the fields were applied, when it was signed, it timestamps it, gives the client time, server time, and then IP address. I'll show you what that looks like. Yesterday we did a dry run and my internet was actually slower than it is today. So you all are the lucky ones. Jan and Megan were not so lucky yesterday. So here we can just go to more, and then there's going to be an option to download with history. Once we do that, it'll just pop up as a download. And then that document will have all the information that was input from the signer. And then here's the document history that I was talking about. Like I said, it's really any activity that was captured on that document, the event, who did it, server time, client time, and then IP address of those of the people involved in the document process. So just one other thing to quickly touch on, we do have a few integrations with cloud storage, such as like Box. They moved it on me, but nonetheless, I can talk about that a little bit. So if you have like OneDrive, SharePoint, Google Drive, and a few others, you can export completed documents to that external cloud drive automatically once documents are completed. So from here, just a few more things to talk about. So we do have a pretty thorough, in-depth partner center that you can sign up for internally over at signNow. There you can register your accounts, opportunities. We have a ton of pre-built marketing materials, such as one-pagers on industry focuses, specific integrations, anything like that. We also have campaigns that are pre-built to where you can just upload your customer base, and it's a series of emails, a ton of sales enablement material, as well as our partner academy, to where you can go through, watch videos that are super helpful on signNow and our product. There's quizzes if you want to take those to become certified on signNow. And then from there, we'll also post our latest releases, as well as any product updates. Lastly, we're always happy to help. If any of you ever do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us or your account manager over at Sherweb. We do have an email alias that we prefer to go through. That's psa@airslate.com. Like I said, if you have any questions, just email that. Always happy to help out. Thanks,
Josh,
everyone.
that's awesome. Thanks so much for that presentation. Definitely some key takeaways for partners. There's definitely, there's one I would emphasize on is definitely what you said at the beginning. It's a wide range of industry use cases and application of eSignature. So meaning that for partners, that there's certainly a lot of opportunities with their customer base to to look at their current processes and help them be a partner and show the value in transforming those processes into more digital and optimized one. So there's, for me, I think you mentioned it as well, another slide, it's table stake to have our process or business processes optimized and digitized. And it's a really good opportunity for the MSP out there to work with their customers and show that value. And at the end of the day, that would just be more stickiness and more recurring revenue as well. So thank you so much. I think that was super helpful. I want to remind all Sherweb partners that they can try out signNow for themselves for free under our Not for Sales program. Reach out to your account manager or partners at sherweb.com if you have any question about how to do that. And with that, a big thank you to everyone who took the time today to join us. If you have any question about signNow or any of other product or services, don't hesitate to reach out to your account manager or to her website. And thanks, and have a great day.